Hey everyone, Magnus here, and we're just about 1 week away from the launch of Shenmue 3. And for all those new people attending this, welcome. If you like Shenmue content, especially leading up to the release of Shenmue 3, please subscribe to this channel for anything in regards to Shenmue 3, the Shenmue community, and of course, the excitement of the game when it's released on November 19th, which is next Tuesday. I'm here tonight to just kind of go over some thoughts. I have a few notes that I've got on on my computer right here, so I would just want to kind of get through everything. Nothing in particular. I'm not going to reveal any new Shenmue content that we don't already know, because I just want to kind of steer away from any spoilers or any things that I've heard. But at the same time, I want to let you guys know what I'm planning to do up until the release of Shenmue 3. So without further ado, let's get started. First, I want to thank Corey Marshall for having an interview with me about a week ago. That was probably one of the most exciting moments of my life, you know? It's a game that came from my childhood, and Shenmue is so connected to me personally, and to be, able to speak to what, in my opinion, is Ryo Hazuki, but actually get to know the man behind the voice of Ryo Hazuki with Corey Marshall was just an incredible experience. I want to say hi to everyone on the live stream as well. Disciple Low, welcome. Gary, Bob Latin, Daniel Pearson, welcome you guys, and thank you for joining this live stream. It's an honor not only to be a part of the Shenmue community, but to have you guys join me live. And please comment as much as possible. I'll try to read as I talk to you guys, because this is what this is. This is a conversation with the Shenmue community. We're not alone. We're here as a family. We gather in this group, and we definitely share in the excitement, the anticipation. I've been seeing tweets of several Shenmue fans just kind of like holding in their excitement, wanting that game to just be in their hands right now, and that's definitely a form of excitement that we've been feeling, especially with these last few weeks of Shenmue 3 to come out, because we've waited damn near 20 years for this game, and to finally be this close, you can feel it, can't you? You know I can. I can definitely feel it. So hyped, so hyped. What's up, Tyler? Nice to see you. Also, so first I want to talk about kind of like this channel and kind of my history leading up to this Shenmue excitement. So I started this channel first and foremost for the sole purpose of... See, I have a camera channel on the side, and I talk about cameras, and I've been doing that for several years because look at me. I just carry around cameras all the time. I'm using a pro camera right now for this, and then I've got like these other pro cameras that I just walk. I'm a nerd in so many different ways, but but I started this channel because I wanted to do, okay, if I want to release videos that don't have anything to do about cameras, I just want to give my insight into my personal feelings on what I enjoy and my personal hobbies. So I started streaming like video games, and I started with Sega Master System games and stuff like that. But then after a few weeks, I had put out this Shenmue 3 kind of story video in my other channel, and obviously it got no traction because all they want to know is about cameras. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me put it on this channel, but let me do some gaming. So I put it on this channel, and then I realized, you know what? I've got so much to say hyping Shenmue and to serve that community, especially since I backed it, and I want the game to be successful. And sometimes when you want something to be successful, you can't just ask for it. You got to do something about it. And that's why we're all here. That's why we're all doing something about it, and that's why we've gotten up to this point where the game's about to launch. So on May 31st, 2018, that was my first live stream. But then July 17th, just a short couple of months later in 2018, I did my first Shenmue upload. And since then, been over a year and a half, I haven't stopped with the Shenmue content, and here we are, and it's only going to explode and get bigger. So, Disciple, you're asking, does anyone know I pre-ordered the game from GameStop online? Will they send the amulet with the pre-order in the mail, you think? I think that, personally, I don't particularly know, but that's a good question. I think that when it comes to the actual game, that if you're getting it from a retail, you're probably going to get it all at the same time. But I do know that backers are probably going to get the game first and then the rewards. They're not going to come at the same time. But of course, that's only a guess. I don't know until they start shipping. I actually checked. I actually pre-ordered the game for the PC. Now I backed it and requested the PS4 version, so that's what I expect to get. But for you guys, I definitely want to make sure that I have the game, so I pre-ordered the PC download so that I can get it as soon as possible. Now I checked to see if I can download the game at this point, and I still can't download the full game, which is sad because I'm hoping to at least have the availability or the access to the download, and then not, so I have it installed early so that I could play it right at midnight with you guys, because I'm definitely going to live stream. So let's move on from there. I've got, like I said, I have my notes on this side. So first, a couple other things that I did want to mention. I haven't shaved all month. It's No Shave November, and I'm definitely backing No Shave November, which is a month-long journey for participants who just forego shaving, and that's to invoke conversation about cancer awareness. So I'm definitely participating in this No Shave November. Now, I had shaved right before I started this because I actually, some of you might have seen it, but I wore a costume for Halloween, and I actually look like this. Can't believe I'm gonna show you guys, but I'm definitely gonna show you guys. So, off the screen to the side, this is what I look like and sounded like. That's me in my office playing Bohemian Rhapsody as Freddie Mercury. So I love playing the keyboard and playing the keyboard in front of everybody. Now I was lip syncing because I cannot sing that well, but there you go. You can make fun of me all you want if you want. But that was me. And then I shaved off that weird mustache, and then I've been just kind of growing my hair since then. So it's kind of, I think, growing out evenly, but definitely bringing cancer awareness, which I did want to, bring the light to you guys as well, And speaking of difficult issues, I did also want to bring attention to Oregon Pacifists. I left a link for GoFundMe for his sister. His sister recently passed away, and he started a GoFundMe, so definitely check out that link and support him. He's a fellow Shenmue community member, so I would definitely support him, and that's why I felt like, I believe he's a good friend of mine, so I would love if you guys can support him. As far as I saw, it was over $750, and his goal is $5,000. So if you can help him get to that goal for his sister and his family, that would be amazing. So, Bob Atlin, Jesus, you look like it. I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite holiday, so I did kind of give my effort for that. It's so thank you for that. Want to move on to something positive and bright. So pick it up from there. So thank you guys for again supporting. So there was something that I did want to mention that's important because it'll probably affect the Shenmue community for the rest of the week. And that's the fact that a game in Finland was sold, a Shenmue 3 game in Finland was sold in retail. So it basically a retailer just might have mistakenly put it on the shelves because they already had it in stock, and either mistakenly or on purpose trying to sell it out or sell it sooner than later. And person picked it up and tweeted about it and said, "Hey, look what I got! I went to get Death Stranding, which is a game that I'm interested in picking up, but we'll see." And then they bought their copy of Shenmue 3, and then I was like, "Oh no, spoilers ahead!" And the other thing that happened too is that I saw, and this was like, okay, if I'm going to see these, I'm going to see them so that I can warn the community. First of all, I'm not going to give any spoilers right now. Definitely no spoilers, and this is what this warning's about. He showed a couple of screens of like starting the game, so definitely had it, and of like the main menu in the game PS4 version, and a couple of tidbits, and then he said he would stop. But to me, it's out there. Okay, so warning: when you're on the internet, be careful of what you're seeing, because you might start seeing Shenmue 3 videos already spoiling the game for you, and that's pretty tragic. Now, if you want it spoiled, then not much I can do except there you go, right? But if you don't want the game spoiled, it's a recommendation that you be careful when you search Shenmue 3 on YouTube, because you might see spoilers and it might link you to more spoilers. And definitely stick to specific communities that have garnered the fact that they're not going to spoil the game. And you could definitely subscribe to my channel and stay tuned to my notifications, because when I talk about Shenmue 3, at least for the next week, I'm not going to spoil it, because I don't want it spoiled for me. I was talking to Corey Marshall, and he was given a few hints, but I spoke to him and I'm like, "Corey, don't tell me anything. Please, I want to play the game." And he wouldn't, of course, but I was pretty adamant, like, no, I want to experience the game just like you guys are going to experience it too. Just, you want to make it worth it, And what that means is you want to not only respect the community, but you also want to share the emotion with the community that the game is finally launching. So that's definitely definitely a good thing. So, Disciple, thanks for bringing Corey Marshall. That was fresh. No, thank you guys for watching, because Corey, agreed to be on this channel, I think because he's seen such a strong community in you guys. And he definitely gave back. And Corey, if you're watching this, a million thank yous. Can't say it enough. So, okay, let's move on from that leak. I wanted to talk about the upcoming week for what I plan to do for Shenmue 3. So this weekend, I'm going to work on a number of videos in prep for the launch, because I want to make sure that I entertain you guys and also build hype with you guys for Shenmue 3. So I've got a couple of stories planned that I'm going to script, edit, and just put together in a package, because I want to have a show for you on November 18th at 11 p.m. That night is the last night before we get Shenmue 3 on November 19th. Now I'm anticipating, my full anticipation is that at midnight the game will be playable on PC. That's my expectation. Like I said, I haven't gotten the download link yet, so that is still a mystery. So, but I hope to have it by then and pre-downloaded, so that when midnight strikes, I can hit the play button and I'll be able to play right away. But I can't control that. But up until midnight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have a show for an hour. I'm going to have videos prepared. I'm going to have conversations prepared with you guys. I want to have a couple of back and forth conversations. I might prepare quizzes, might not. I don't know how much I could prepare before then, because sometimes I feel like I'm rushing, and if something's not ready, I'm not going to show it to you guys. So that's what I anticipate. So Batsy should be receiving my copy on the 21st to the 23rd. Oh, that's past the 19th, which you got it with the rest of us. Bob Blanton on the spoilers, they're coming to get me and beat me. let's be careful of that too. So, yeah, for spoilers, definitely I'm that night when I stream. If the game's available to play at midnight, I'm going to play probably the first hour or so with you guys. So that night, starting midnight, it's going to be spoiler heavy, at least for the intro of Shenmue 3. I've been saying that I've been wanting to play this game with you guys for a while, and I'm definitely going to do it. I feel that Shenmue 3 is a game that should be played alone and really immerse yourself in. And I'm kind of doing the opposite of that because I'm like totally immersing myself with you guys. But I feel weird not playing it with you guys because we've shared this experience for so long. And I think it's important to enjoy it together, or those first few moments. Now, if you don't want the game spoiled and you want to have that moment for yourself, I can't blame you. If I have nobody watching me during the stream because you're all playing it, even better. Go play it. Don't watch me. Play it yourself and experience it for yourself. But if you want to actually be part of this experience with me, then I would be more than happy to share that experience with you guys. I'm going to talk through it a little bit, but I'm mostly going to probably be like the whole time because I can't miss the story. I want to be able to hear the story. So I'm probably going to wear headphones because I'm going to want to hear the game and not give you guys like an echo. And I know when I have the speaker on or when I'm doing live streams and Skype conversations, sometimes I don't have headphones on, or at least I don't have good ones that I can just squeeze in the ear and be indiscreet. But when I do that, I get a little bit of an echo, and I know that's kind of rude, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So I'm going to wear headphones, but I'll still take part in a live stream and kind of go from there. So I heard you'll lose your eyeballs if you watch the spoilers. You just might. Who knows? That's a warning from Bob Blanton. So, anyway, moving on. I did want to kind of ask you guys a couple of questions and have this be a little bit back and forth before I announce a winner to my little Twitter contest. Now, I posted a contest on Twitter exclusively that was for a Shenmue backer demo. And all I needed was a retweet of that original tweet and subscribe. If you did those two things, you were eligible to win a backer demo. And precisely about 1 week before the launch of the game, I figured give you a week to catch up to the rest of us and then play the game. So that was generously donated. Actually, I don't have the name in front of me at the moment. That was generously donated by Chris Rayman, or at Chris Rayman. So thank you very much for donating that backer code. And I'm going to give it out at the end of this stream. But first, I wanted to hear from you guys and everybody on this stream as to what you are looking forward to most in Shenmue. Now, there's a lot in Shenmue 3, to be specific. Now, there's a lot to look forward to when the game comes out, but the game itself has a lot of different features, gameplay, story, mini games, fighting. You've waited all this time for Shenmue 3, and we're about a week away. What is it about the game that is drawing you to want to play it as soon as it launches? Let me know. And if it's a story element, for example, if it's a story, what about this story do you want to find out, or do you want to look into deeper that actually interests you in playing the game? What's up, Mini Shenmue? Nice to see you on. Daniel Pearson says, I've seen 2 people who already have the game. It's crazy. Please, no spoilers. Please, no spoilers. So Bob Latin says to continue the story. Silver Wings, some closure, even though it will take a few more games to finish the story. Yeah, you know, that's an interesting perspective. We're hinting story, but the closure in itself, I'm kind of having trouble with that because we were left with an open ending in Shenmue 2. And now we want, a lot of us at least want, finally Ryo to get his hands on Lan Di. Now, I remember finishing the original Shenmue and, you know, having to sail to Hong Kong and feeling like I didn't even get a chance to be in front of Lan Di. He just got away. I guess this is the beginning of the story. Now I gotta wait. So then we wait until Shenmue 2. And then Shenmue 2, you think, okay, this is where it's gonna pick up. Dreamcast, unfortunately, is not where the series is going to continue. But we got Shenmue 2. Maybe we'll finally get our hands on Lan Di. And then again, Lan Di slips through our fingers. And he gets away. What is going on there? So, I'm like, alright, fine. Like Game Sales Guy says, well, alright then. Because we had to move on to Shenmue 3. And we're thinking, okay, we're going to move on with this story in Xbox. And then Xbox comes out with Shenmue 2. It doesn't do well. And then you hear about Shenmue Online, and then I'm kind of sad because this looks like we're just fitting Shenmue into this online RPG box because we want to justify creating another Shenmue, but it doesn't sound like it was going to be the Shenmue 3 we always wanted. But then that never came out. That never launched. And then now here we are so many years later, and it's like we're going to experience it again, and there's a chance in my head. I obviously don't know the story that happens in Shenmue 3, but in my head, there's that slight chance that Lan Di will once again slip through our fingers. Now, I'm sure you've seen the trailer by now where Lan Di is there, and it's almost like Ryo's like, you know, I will have my revenge with the finger point of doom. And, you know, he's got that. But at the same time, I'm strongly feeling like it all looks too set up, almost like it's a dream. I don't know for sure, obviously. But it's almost like he's dreamt about Lan Di before. What makes this not another dream? Ugh. So that closure, we might get it, but we might not get it. Because we want the series to continue, right? So, alright. Let's see what else you guys got to say. Sim said the story so we can have answers to many questions like what happened to Shu Ying's brother, what Lan Di wants to do with the mirrors, and Guisang return. Now that's interesting because what does Shu Ying's brother have to do with the story? Now I did a video a long time ago where I theorized that Shu Ying's brother was actually Lan Di. And I know that there's stories that show that it's actually not the case. In like some of the stuff that the media that came out with like the Xbox version. But I have trouble believing that it's not Lan Di, or there's not some sort of family tie-in with Lan Di, because Iwao, Ryo's father, killed Lan Di's father. Lan Di then killed Ryo's father. So now Ryo's going to kill, or wants to kill, Lan Di. But if he does, it's like a cycle that's continuing. So if the cycle continues and he kills Lan Di, say that was part of the storyline, who would take revenge on him? And does Lan Di have any children? One of my theories was the fact that Lan Di's kid is actually Shenmue. My theory. I don't know, but it could be. Or maybe sister. If not daughter, maybe sister, but who knows? Batsy said, I want to see all of the heads of the Chiyu men, including the leader of the 4 leaders. That's interesting because there's so much mystery as to the Chiyu men in this whole storyline and how they're connected and how the mirrors play a part in that whole legend. I don't know. I really have no idea on how that's going to figure into everything. Is it possible? Now, this is just me throwing ideas out there, like coming up with them right now. Is it possible that Landi... First of all, Rio has a lot to learn when it comes to martial arts. Rio has a lot to learn when it comes to the prioritization of his quest for revenge versus his martial arts training. Because martial arts, and everyone is training him, Chewing included, is training him to focus his energy on training and not so much on the quest for revenge, that will destroy him. And him pursuing Landi with such passionate hatred is totally against everything that he's been learning about this point. So yeah, us as fans we're like saying, yeah, we want revenge on Landi, but that might be far from the point. Revenge on Landi is a mindless task that is pretty much going completely against everything that these games are standing for. Sure, we feel passionate when he sees Landi. It's like, you're there. But it's far from what we're trying to accomplish. So for me, I think it's possible too, and I'm throwing this out there, that eventually in the series, maybe not in Shenmue 3, but you might work with Landi and to sympathize, to understand, and then maybe fight by his side to take down a greater threat with the mirrors. Because what is Landi's ultimate goal? Fine, it was to kill Iwao, so that in itself is bad enough, right? But what is he trying to do? What does he want with the mirrors? And why is he after, obviously they're after the Phoenix mirrors as well. But why didn't Landi know that the Phoenix mirror was also with Iwao? How did he find out that Iwao had the Dragon mirror, but not the Phoenix mirror? Why was that not something that he pursued? Did he plan it from the get-go? Did he know that the Phoenix mirror was there? Did he know that Rio would want revenge? Did he lure Rio into China? He saw Rio from the top of that building at the end of Shenmue 2. Spoilers if you haven't played Shenmue 2. You should. And what are you doing here? Go play it now. Get out of this live chat. Yes, I'm kicking you out if you haven't played Shenmue 2. So I'm going to go from here. But why would he kick him out and then... why would he see Rio and then just do nothing, just float away? And then go somewhere? He's luring Rio for some reason. Why would he do that? I don't know. And I think the story goes a lot deeper than that. So, Batsy, you do agree that Rio's path of revenge is arbitrary? It definitely is. That's just a distraction from what this main story is really about. Retro Godfather, I doubt if Iwao would agree with his son's revenge quest. Yeah, again, I don't think any of those that trained Rio, who've even heard about his revenge quest, Shuing included, want him to get vengeance and revenge. It's not about that. So, Mark Loomis, excellent theory, Magnus, about luring Rio to him. Hadn't thought of that one. Yeah, again, I haven't thought of that one either. I just came up with it now, but it could be. Bob, you're out of here. You didn't beat Shenmue 2? Get out. No, if you're here, welcome, but get out. Hellhammer, Landi have a son? Don't know. Could be possible too. What if Landi's son was actually Shuing's brother? Who knows? But then again, how old is Landi? What's his actual age? That would be important when it comes to this part of the story. Sim, also I wonder what Ren's implication will be in Shenmue 3. Will it have money involved? Yes, it will have money involved. Ren is all about that, and he sees that there's something big about the Phoenix and Dragon mirrors, and he thinks there's something to be sought after here. But you know that Ren's got that soft spot for Rio, so that's why they actually get along. It's kind of like a love-hate thing going on there, but it's still pretty cool. I hope you did beat it, Bob. So, Batsy says Lanti is in his 30s. Well, if he's in his 30s, which I didn't realize or know, if he's in his 30s, then I don't think he can be Shuing's father, for example, or something like that. But who could he have fathered? Like I said, he could have fathered, definitely could have fathered Shenhua. Shenhua is rumored to be 16, and if he's into his mid to late 30s, then he could have had Shenhua when he was an older teenager. So, Andrew says, I feel Shuing and Lanti are tied together somehow. So do I. Like I said, that was in my theory a while ago. I think that Lanti is Shuing's brother. I'm probably 90% wrong about that, and I admit that, but I'm still hanging on to that. I hang on to completely incorrect theories because you would be hanging on to a hopeless theory if you thought Shenmue 3 was going to come out, but look at us today with Shenmue 3 coming out. So, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha, ha ha. There you go. BZ999, is Landi truly a bad guy, or is he just pissed off for revenge seeking Rio? That is kind of what I was thinking about too. Like, is he really pissed off and just an evil bad guy? Like, what are his true intentions? Now, if you're part of the Chiyu Men, by default, you're considered bad just because you're part of that group. But is Landi's kind of going on his own thing, or it seems like he's doing his own thing. What is he trying to do? Perhaps he might have more evil intentions than you ever thought of, or perhaps he doesn't. Why not sympathize with someone who's had his father murdered? His father was murdered in China, and this man escaped with these mirrors that belong to the Chinese community, and he just left with them after murdering his father. From Landi's perspective, Iwao was pure evil. So Landi showed up. It's like, you stole stuff from China that belonged to us, and you killed my father. I am mad. So I'm going to take that stuff back. And if you don't want me to kill your son, I'm going to take it back because you know what? You murdered my dad, and I should do that to you. Do you remember Chao Sung-ming? That's the name of the man you killed in Moon Swoon. Get up. I'll allow you to die like a warrior. Why did he say that? Why did he allow Iwao to die like a warrior? Why didn't he just take his revenge? Do you think that Rio would allow Landi to die like a warrior? Or would Rio just be enraged and just take out all his energy on Landi and just waste him? That's I think where Rio's mentality is, at least from the end of Shenmue 2. But Landi honorably fought him to the death. And then walked out and took the mirrors back. Not stole them, but he felt like he was taking them back, in my opinion. So that goes kind of into a deeper philosophical way of considering this whole mystery. So I'm kind of throwing all these different ideas for excitement. So, do you think that magic that was going to be implemented in Shenmue Online will be in Shenmue 3? I honestly don't think a lot of things that were on Shenmue Online are going to be in Shenmue 3. I almost feel like that's just scrapped. Because Shenmue Online, in my opinion, was being made just to justify raising the popularity of Shenmue. And Shenmue Online, I think, was going to be a side story that had nothing to do with the main story. So that kind of magic was just like, here, you want magic, justifying the game, but nothing to do with the pure story. What kind of powers Shenhua has since says Sim. Now Shenhua in itself, there is some mysticism to her. Obviously, her stepfather, who was raising her, knew that Shenhua was meant for some sort of destiny. Now, I don't know how many in the community that she lived in knew about her kind of mystical upbringing. But obviously, you saw at the end of Shenmue 2, spoilers, that she was able to move the sword without touching it. She also had that legend that she just kept reciting since childhood. But as far as any other powers, it seems to stem a lot, not only from Shenhua, but from the Shenmue tree itself. So there's some sort of power that comes from the Shenmue tree. And Shenhua is like her name says, she's kind of a leaf from the Shenmue tree. So all of her powers, I think, again guessing, are kind of like an offset of the true power that's part of that land, which is found within that Shenmue 3. Now I think there's a lot to be said of what that Shenmue tree potentially has. We only barely scratched the surface at the end of Shenmue 2 to find out about that tree. That tree obviously has a power that Ryo felt when he got to Shenhua's house. He's like, there's something about that tree that I almost feel like it's watching us. So why would he get that feeling? And Shenhua's always felt that feeling. And Shenhua's always been connected to that tree. So I believe that she's some sort of vehicle to the mysticism of that tree and its deeper meaning. Now it could go back into ancient times as well, when it comes to something that must have been done to that tree to lead up to these moments with the Phoenix and Dragon mirrors. Again, I'm speculating, guys. Don't think that I have some sort of Shenmue handbook. It's just me knowing the story. It's kind of going with that. So, Bob Batlin, maybe they're half brother and sister. That was also an interesting take, that they might be connected somehow, because Ryo's mother wasn't really shown in the first Shenmue, and Shenhua didn't really have any parents besides that quick flashback that they showed. But you don't know anything about them. So, in my opinion, there might be some sort of connection, maybe blood-wise, between the two, which wouldn't surprise me. So, Shenhua's biological parents' house is different from her adopted father's house, yet the Shenmue tree is present in both of them. I think that that's because of the different time period. I think that, and I've seen this theory quoted, that they could be from an ancient Chinese time, and somehow Shenhua existed as a baby in that timeline, and it could possibly be either reincarnated or something in this current timeline. But that past timeline doesn't seem like it was 16 years ago. It seems like it could have been a lot farther back than that. So we still have to see what that's about and figure that out. So, Disciplo gives me chills. Yeah, this story is pretty crazy. Definitely agreed. This story is just so deep. You could take it in so many different levels, and that's what makes the mystery of playing Shenmue 3 so engrossing because there's so many theories out there. You can look up almost everything online, but when you play the game, it could be anything, and you want to find out if you're correct or incorrect, which is pretty exciting. Mark Loomis says the Shenmue story has to be one of the most mysterious stories ever told in a game. Unfortunately, not enough people realize its intrigue and depth. There was enough people who realized it to ask for the third game, thankfully. But mainstream audiences, especially the younger crowd, you can't generalize them all because there's different types, and I know a lot of young gamers who have jumped into the story, thankfully, but it's the mindset, at least of those that are just into trends, that they'll follow the trends in big AAA budget games and the Call of Duties and the anything that has to do with like shooters or just any type of modern trend, like Grand Theft Auto, for example. But to veer off into a niche game like Shenmue is kind of difficult to do, especially when they're just that type of gamer. Just whatever costs a lot of money that everyone else is talking about, then they'll just play too. I consider myself somewhat that type of gamer to certain extents when it comes to new franchises. Sometimes I want to see the big budget franchises before I'll step into something new, because smaller franchises are a little bit more risky unless I'm seeing a lot of reviews and good buzz about a certain game, which is unfortunate, right? But this game and certain other games is something that I've hung on to, and it's difficult to get new gamers to come into it. So it's a shame, but it's something that once you get the story, you're sucked in. So if you can get those to just experience that story and say, look at how good this is, then leave them with the cliffhanger and say, buy Shenmue 3. You might get them. You might get them. So, Retro Godfather says, where was it? Still hard to believe that after all these years we'll be playing Shenmue 3 in a week's time. I've never been so hyped for a video game release in all my years of gaming. I join you in that so much. So hard. What will be the importance of Nielsen? Landi could be just a person at a lower rank in the Chiyu men compared to Nielsen. You know, that character is pretty mysterious to my respect. Like, what part does she play? You know, if you don't know, she's been shown in a lot of press, I guess, posters and even in Shenmue 2, hints of her before they changed her a couple of times. But she's part of the Chiyo men, and she's just mysterious to me. I have no idea how she'll fit in, but I do honestly think that it's going to be part of the storyline where it's kind of like you learn to see who's really evil in this. And I honestly starting to think that Landi is either truly evil or he might just fight on the side of Rio. I don't know. But he obviously wants to do something with those mirrors. And the other members of the Chiyo men might be in cahoots, or they might have no idea what Landi's doing. So that's kind of crazy. Alright, so I'm going to move on to the final part. And I want to thank everybody for joining this live stream. This was fun. I had a lot to get on my chest, a lot of excitement that I wanted to build up with you guys, and definitely I've had that subscriber goal above my head for the past few live streams. I'm at 521 subscribers last I checked. I wanted to be at 1,000 before next Tuesday. I still hope for it, but I don't think I'm going to make it, and I'm okay with that. I'm still going to produce videos. I'm still happy with this community because you know what? We can be more intimate. We could definitely be more connected, and you guys are definitely watching my videos. Now, I mentioned earlier before, I have a camera channel, and that's got about 2,000 subscribers on that channel, so a lot more than here, but the audience on this channel, the Shenmue community, is so much more engaging than my camera channel. It makes me excited to just keep on producing content here, and I won't stop. So it's fun, even if we stay at 521. Shoot for the stars, but I'm also happy to be on the ground as well. So anyway, without further ado, and I'm still reading all these comments, and I want to thank you guys too. And I'm proud to be a member of the Shenmue community. Super, super, super proud. Super proud. Without further ado, I want to thank you guys, and then also give the prize winner, let the prize winner know who he is, and then of course I'll direct message him the winning thing. So it's like the code for the backer code. So once again, I want to give credit to Rayman for donating this subscriber code, and the winner of that contest is Akira Robert. Akira Robert retweeted my original tweet and also subscribed to my channel, and I was able to track that, and it was huge honor as always to get that type of support and get new subscribers. So thank you for that, and thank you for being a part of this community, and of course participating in the contest. I'll DM you later with the actual code so you could enjoy the backer trial to your content 1 week before the games comes out. So enjoy. Other than that, thank you guys for joining. I'm going to get some rest now. I've talked a lot this past hour, but I enjoyed it with you guys. So as always, like, share, tell your friends, tell everybody if they want to be a part, join us, as always. And they themselves and you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. Gotta work on those videos now. Take care and see you guys later. Bye-bye. It was fun.